Pisces, your weekly love tarot reading begins with a page of swords, a page of wands, a page of pentacles, and a queen of cups. Wow. All court cards. Your person coming into this connection is a knight of swords, an ace of swords, hermit energy, and the emperor. Wow. Okay, folks, Pisces, high priestess at the bottom of the deck. So high priestess, interestingly enough, is a card in tarot that I really associate with the sign of Pisces. Even though in tarot your card is in fact the moon card, high priestess is pretty close to your energy. The high priestess, has a lot of secrets. She has a lot of knowledge. She has a lot of wisdom. She just knows things. And she's also in a position, or she assumes a position, where she really doesn't share that information very lightly. Cagey is the word that comes to mind. So let's get right into your reading, Pisces. As I noted, a lot of court cards. You're coming in with a page energy and your person a knight energy, both swords. So it's a battle, right? It seems to be a battle of wits here. And yet you guys are very simpatico. You're very compatible. This person, though, your person is coming in much more like a storm cloud, whereas you're prepared to have a conversation. This is all about communication. You're prepared for sure to have a conversation with this person. But there's something going on between the two of you that seems to be a little bit of a friendly battle, a little bit of a friendly skirmish, right? Back and forth, exchange of ideas. Again, you coming in a little bit more, a little softer, a little bit, less aggressive, certainly, than your person. Let's get some clarity here. So Emperor energy is there, and Six of Cups, yeah. So I'm going to say, Pisces, this is a reading for a Pisces that is engaging in a new love connection, right? So this is someone new coming in, and you two are just like really good at sort of banter, debate, conversation. You like to tease each other. Your person is definitely interested, though. They find you very adorable. They have a lot of affection for you, Pisces. They love being around you. And yes, they are also coming in with a real desire. When you're around them, they really get amped up and excited. You are I'm going to say, Pisces, you may be a little bit older than them. You're coming in with a bit more experience, even though you're representing with that page energy, which seems on the surface to be a lot younger. It's more of a position that you're adopting. You are coming in with Emperor energy, right? So you are very sort of experienced, you're wise, you've been around this block, you know what you're doing. Yeah, you're not coming in as open, as wide open and aggressive as your person, because mostly you already have a lot more experience. I think there's also an aspect here, High Priestess Pisces, of you kind of knowing what's going on. Like you kind of see your person's moves before they make them. And you definitely are coming from a position of experience. So it's like you're just, I think in your mind, I get this vibe here, Pisces, and in yourself, you're kind of amused because you're like, oh yeah, I expected you to do this, or I expected you to bring that, or I expected you to act this way, etc., etc. So this is the beginning of a nice love connection, I believe. How do you guys see each other? Well, you see them as young, okay? You see them as a page of wands. For them, you are an ace of swords. You see them as somebody who's young and vibrant and unabashed, not afraid. For them, you represent a whole new way of looking at things. I think that you present a new perspective. They're learning so much from you. Right? They haven't been around somebody like you before, Pisces. That's the truth. They haven't, they haven't met someone like you before. And you are really kind of giving them a lot to think about. They see you as the Ace of Swords. You're giving them a really different perspective of looking at all kinds of things, the world, people, relationships, etc. You're like an extremely fresh, breath of fresh air for them. And at the same time, I want to say somebody who just is more experienced, a little bit wiser, and they're just drawn in. Let's get some clarity. Hermit energy. So Pisces, you've been on your own for quite some time. Hermit energy. Two of Pentacles. You're dealing with somebody who's a little bit messy though, Pisces. Let me take a sip of my tea. Yeah, you're dealing with somebody who is a little bit messy. They've got a lot going on, right? You, however, Pisces, you've been on your own for a little while. You've been doing your own thing. You haven't really been involved. This is not, when I say been involved, it's not like you're out dating or you're actively seeking anyone. You've been living quite a solitary life, doing your own thing, probably working on your business or working on your career, working on yourself, etc., and happy about it. But you're dealing with somebody who has a lot going on. They may already have a couple of people that they're dating, etc., with that Two of Pentacles energy. They're juggling a lot. I feel like they're a little bit messy for you, Pisces. And so what do they need to bring to the table here, right? So let's take a look at your two roles. For them, their role in the relationship, Hermit energy. And I think they see that too. They realize that they're going to have to tighten up the screws before they come to you, right? They're going to have to be on their own, doing their own thing, strong and secure, but not like this hopping from one to the next, I'm talking about relationships. If you're this person, they're dating, they're seeing multiple people, etc. You're not really there for that. And so they have to come with that Hermit energy in as much as you are kind of matching you. You bring Page of Pentacles. So for you, you're prepared to do, you see yourself as absolutely prepared to do all of the little things that it takes to start a relationship and grow and all of that. Like the little Page of Pentacles, spending the time together, doing things for each other, talking to each other, very real material actions a lot, in the beginning that you take in the beginning. But again, you want them to match your energy, Pisces. You're wanting them to match your energy in as much as you're not wanting somebody who's coming, hot off the block, from dating and being around and if you know what I mean? It's not that you're judging, but you're wanting somebody who's very, very secure in themselves and who's not just where you're not just the next number in line, but where you're someone that they truly choose, right? Rather than sort of this conveyor belt vibe here, or just, the next John, you know what I'm saying? So that gives away where I'm from. Clearly I'm from Philly, y'all. But so this is how you're kind of coming to this, and you're cool with them either being able to do that or not, right? So again, also the vibe here, Pisces, I get from you is that you are well and truly in your hermit mode, and as much as you're good on your own, you really don't need this. Empress and Queen of Cups, you're very mature and experienced. You don't need this. You're right now also, Pisces, you're really taking care of yourself. Empress energy, you're luxuriating in yourself, taking care of yourself, eating well, taking care of your body, taking care of your money, taking care of your environment. You're like, listen, I'm good over here, but if you can't match me, that's fine. And not only am I good, Queen of Cups energy, I'm also very, very confident in my feelings and how I see, the world and the relationships that I have, right? So I'm not afraid of my feelings. I'm not afraid to discuss them. I'm not afraid to ask for what I want or demand it, right? And you're either going to step up or not. Your person, Judgment energy, Emperor with that Hermit. So interestingly enough, they come with an energy of wanting to sort of like absolve themselves a little bit, lay bare. You may be dealing with somebody, Pisces, who has a little bit of baggage, and they're not that proud of it, okay? It's not like that they're extremely proud of their baggage, and I feel like they very much are seeing their baggage and mirroring you. By being interested in someone like you, Pisces, who brings such a quality and experience and sort of a maturity, right, to the way you handle life and the way you handle relationships and everything, it's making this person really look at themselves and look at how they've been sort of acting or behaving, or the choices they've been making, or the things that they've been putting their effort into, and kind of really waking up and realizing that, hey, you know what? If I want to get with somebody on this level, I'm going to have to level up. And so there's a lot of soul searching going on here. They end up with Emperor energy. They may indeed take a lot of charge in changing things, right? New territory. The Emperor is Aries energy, but the Emperor is also about, conquering new territory. This may indeed be new territory for them as it relates to being with you and how they see themselves. This is a real change. I'm going to say, Pisces, and they may indeed step to the plate, all very much in an effort to match your energy. Spirit of the stranger, watch out. Spirit of the snowflake and spirit of the tower. Yes, spirit of the stranger, caution and danger. And I think this is the thing for you, Pisces. There are some red flags here, but you're perfectly prepared not to take anything here from this person until they show you what you need to see. High Priestess is very strong, confident, and intuitive. So if it doesn't jive with her, your inner voice, you're not going to go for it. Spirit of the snowflake, this is one of a kind energy. And spirit of the tower, surprises, big shifts and changes. You may be surprised in the change that you see in this individual, Pisces, in an effort for them, in their effort to sort of step up and really be like, wow, I need to do more. Yeah, Tarantula, Crossroads, and a fish. Wow. Well, this is really interesting, Pisces. The two animal spirits we have is fire and water. You are water. You may be dealing with a fire sign. Tarantula and fish. Well, the tarantula is the animal spirit for the crossroads. He's very... Tarantula being fire, being an animal that is very, very cautious and careful and intentional about every single step that it takes. And so when it's faced with a crossroads situation, it's going to really think this through. So you or your person, I would say your person is resonating with this. They are very much at a crossroads in terms of how they're going to move forward in their life. And you've been the impetus for it. On the other hand, you have fish energy, which is water energy. And the fish is very slippery. The fish goes from one relationship to the next. He really doesn't put any real roots down. He doesn't put any real effort, goes wherever the current leads. A devil, a very laissez-faire, devil-may-care attitude. I'm the, and also with that attitude of, oh, I'm the wanderer. I'm the adventurer, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is very lonely because never really putting that true effort in to turn any momentary spark of inspiration into something. You can't just have a life of sparks, right? Oh, this is great. Let me move down here. Let me do this. Oh, yeah, all these lovely sparks. And then what, right? Where the spark is supposed to be the impetus that begins a process of creation, something that you manifest, right? And so the fish is learning that. So this is very interesting. It's like you're dealing with somebody who's at a crossroads between a very different life to what they've been leading up until now, and then this fish energy of continuing on with this very slippery, temporary connection situation that they're having. Interesting reading, Pisces. I'm going to close it up. This is it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you got something out of this reading, if it resonated, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Any of those actions really help me out, and I truly appreciate you taking the time. But this has been truly an interesting reading this week, Pisces. I wish you and your cross watchers and the people that you love everything in the world, love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you guys next Wednesday on my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your weekly love tarot reading. Take care now.